Hi, this is Paul St. Peter on behalf of Brian Awesome. I am in awe too, not so much of Lord Frieza, but of Brian.
What's up? Once again, Brian Awesome. I've done reviews, I've done unboxing openings, so this is something new that I wanted to try since I've seen so many reaction videos. And this is kind of like a reaction video, but at the same time, it's more so a review. So welcome to my first awesome review video. I'm pretty sure y'all can figure out that I'm a big fan of 90s culture, 90s, memorabilia and whatnot, since I've seen some of my unboxing stuff already, but I'm a fan of 90s shows. It's just something about shows being allowed to just tell a good story and have plenty of episodes to tell that story. Sometimes to the point where those shows branch out into their own continuities with crossovers and recurring characters, recurring villains, and the works. And I like how, and I also just like the longevity. I mean, stuff like Batman and Superman influenced many shows after, even if it wasn't part of the Bruce Timm DC universe. But it was just allowed to last long. I mean, you don't always get that now. And if a show does last long, it's either kidified or it takes a long time for it to come back, as with the case of Young Justice. Or they, for some reason, forcefully and unrealistically make characters become alphabet. And you rarely had that problem in 90s animated series of shows. And I don't mean to have this long rant of an intro before we get to, what we're getting into today, but it's if the Batman Superman Adventures, because I'm gonna review the Batman Superman Adventures airing of the not world's finest, the brand new Metropolis episode when it was on Kids WB, and I fear that if the Batman Superman Adventures came out in this day and age, that when Superman went off to fight Darkseid, the last scene wouldn't be of him and Lois. The last scene, they probably would have done some weird crap by having Superman and Batman facing each other, as typically what you see in shows. So that is maybe that should be another topic of a video. Unrealistically making characters alphabet and why. So that could be another topic. But but today we're here to review one of my favorite shows that I like watching as a kid, and as an adult I could see why. It is something for everybody. Something for everybody. Without forcing a character to be one way or another, while having certain character traits pop up organically. That's something that you don't always see now, as I already kind of mentioned with my rant. So here we go. Batman Superman Adventures, Kids WB, Brave New Metropolis. Take a glimpse into an alternate future. This theme is more epic than Batman and Superman combined. This was, to me, this was the best part of Kids WB, other than the other action stuff like Men in Black. Star Labs,
So how's it work?
where a lot of this took place.
Top secret, huh?
No, it's Kryptonian technology based on the Phantom Zone projector. We don't fully understand it yet.
But can you really look into other dimensions with it?
In theory, it should be a kind of window.
This was kind of the start of having more episodes, more than just run-of-the-mill fighting common villains type of thing. I mean, this wasn't quite in like a Dark Side Invasion episode per se, but this dealt with more serious or more deeper topics. In alternate universe stories and time travel has always been some of my favorite topics for shows to cover. And this is one of the first shows I watched that covered something like this.
Professor, it's different.
What is?
The glass is
My only gripe,
see it between the posts.
the only thing that kind of grinds my gears about this is that
Another dimension.
they don't explore, other than maybe what Star Trek, other shows like Batman, Superman has never deeply explored how things led up to different branch off points in history. Whether it's time travel or alternate universes, they just briefly mention it while, you know, advancing it in the current plot that they're already in.
Jimmy?
I would like, for some of this stuff, I would like to see whole seasons. I would enjoy that just as much or more.
Well, at least some things are the same around here. Where is everybody? Hey, could you help? Nice guy. This is new. Luthor? The men who saved Metropolis?
Yep.
It's
We probably thought that this was going to be a regular Superman episode, Star Labs, maybe something involving an alien, a pet alien or some crap. But then, boom, Superman and Luthor.
Turpin.
That's what it says on my
Dan
badge.
Turpin.
Now, where's that card?
Oh yeah, it's right here in my Oh, whoops. No purse.
So I guess in either reality, Dan Turpin never got close to Lois. Otherwise, he would have been like, oh wait, Lois, you're Lois Lane, you're alive. You'll notice that a lot of characters in this universe is wearing the same type of uniform. From Dan Turpin to Mercy Graves and Superman.
Research Ninth and Ross.
Oops, spoilers.
Blew in the door, sent back.
Once again, this episode is titled Brave New Metropolis.
The law and order.
Jimmy Olsen got the mullet now, or bigger mullet.
Look out! It's him! Blast him! Get him! Get him!
I think Toonami aired this episode as well. They did, for the Valentine's Day and all that. And that's another thing that I would like to ask y'all in the comments section. What did y'all prefer? Because some shows like Batman and Superman aired on both Kids WB and Cartoon Network / Toonami. Same episode and everything. It's just that it felt different presentation wise. or sometimes just vibe wise, watching it on Toonami as opposed to the more kid friendly oriented Kids WB. So which did you prefer, watching Batman, Superman, and Batman Beyond on KWB, or watching it on Toonami? Got a little bumper commercial break. Funny. Good commercials. Hot Wheels is one of the only toy companies, or one of a few toy companies that seems like they've been around for 100 years or something. I like collecting toy cars sometimes myself nowadays, if it's like tied into like Fast and the Furious or Transformers or something. That's right, this is 1999, which means is that they marketed the hell out of Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. Because you have to remember, Star Wars rarely had anything outside of movies. In regards, like Star Trek had movies later on, while they still had episodes and seasons. Star Wars just had movies, and for the longest time they just had their original trilogy, and then I think the 3 after that. But this is the first prequel of Star Wars, so I guess they made a big deal out of it. So, try to wrap this up before we get to another commercial that I want to talk about, or the episode itself. They marketed the hell out of the Phantom Menace, so from toys and kids meals toys and regular toys to I guess I could pause this, to 3D Doritos and specially marked snack boxes and everything. They marketed the hell out of the damn Phantom Menace movie, to be honest, because I remember. And that was kind of an interesting but fun time to be in.
Department of Education, Division 6. Fire Marshal Division 1. Rushers Division 6.
And just because there's a difference between promos and presentation between Toonami and Kids WB, Toonami is more dramatic and cool, while Kids WB most of the time was kid oriented. But it was still, I like both, even to this day. Looking back, of course.
They got surveillance cameras everywhere. We're just lucky Superman didn't follow us.
Cameras everywhere. This is a 1999 episode. Cameras everywhere. We're in 2020 now. Surprised these people don't have any masks on.
You were working on that intergate piece. They put a bomb in your car. Remember?
Sure, but Superman saved me.
He didn't save you. He got there a split second too late. I saw the photos. That's when everything changed. He started wearing the black costume. Then he teamed up with
It's the Daily Press.
Said he wanted to make the city safe again. Here's the result.
Make Metropolis great again. When was it ever great?
Who are they? People who lost their jobs, their families, because they wouldn't go with the program.
And it's another thing.
It's your turn
This is shortly before
to survive.
Kyle Rayner would have become the Green Lantern, and Steel, or Henry Irons, is a native of Metropolis or damn near close. So where the hell is Kyle Rayner
Superman's not going to be a
and Steel at this point?
It is the right opportunity.
And by the time that this is over and Kyle Rayner is there somewhere, and by the time Abin Sur comes to Metropolis, who becomes the Green Lantern in this universe? Does Kyle? Because Kyle, it's not a guarantee that the Daily Planet will be opened back up at that point. By that point, so maybe
Center C, Children's the LexCorp Orphanage.
Superman becomes temporarily Green Lantern until he ditches it. Because it was a comic clip I saw where Katma Tui comes to Earth
Let go of me. Let go.
and she dons the black suit and they form a pseudo Justice League. And you see here,
I'll interrogate this one myself.
Mercy Graves is wearing the same top uniform as Dan Turpin earlier.
Get up. He wants you. Naturally, I was quite skeptical when Commander Graves said you were still alive. But according to this DNA scan, you are Lois Lane.
No question who you are. You're the one thing that's exactly the same.
She's definitely It doesn't matter. If he finds out she's still alive, who knows what he'll do. He's hard enough to work with as it is.
So, you want me to?
Yes, but not here.
Luthor has no shame.
Hey, I'm not finished.
I beg you do.
And where's Batman during all this? I mean, it should have been a whole damn season, not just one episode with a few brief mentions and the plot, and the focus mainly being on a plot, main plot. Like, have us at least a two-part of this.
My God, you! It's really you! You're alive after all these years. Can you loan me $1? Out of the way.
I think that was one of the news reporters that was in competition with Lois in the Daily Planet.
Lois. This is Graham at LexCorp. I need...
Oh, she got corona. How is Lois running this fast with heels?
He's on the roof now.
Now this is unrealistic. Even if you were to go into this universe where this is actually happening, and the statues are actually more rigid than what they make it appear through the animation to us as viewers, there is still no damn way Lois could be climbing all this this easily.
I'll shoot, I swear!
Lois.
Superman down in the black suit.
Feels very
And this was way before the era of streaming. So nowadays, let's say Chips Ahoy or the next type of cookie company isn't established as well. Since most people watch TV on streaming, just the episodes themselves with very little ads or whatever, how the hell, if I want to start a cookie company, how would I establish myself when there's still TV with commercials, but most people, most typical people in the U.S. watches TV or shows and movies on Netflix and streaming. So how would I get my product out there? Even if I made a $1 million commercial like this Chips Ahoy commercial you just saw, or this Hot Wheels commercial here, how would I? It would be almost be practically be a waste putting it on TV when most people are watching it on streaming. Unless it's streaming ads in between the shows. Look at all them small parts. Pokemon. This was basically Kids WB's Golden Goose at this point. 1999. This was their prelude to their anime boom. And the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, fun fact, one of the longest running shows on KWB up to this point. Ever since 1995, I believe.
Howard, what's the active runway? Activate. 2-2, roger.
Hey, princess, what you doing?
When I kiss this frog,
Third
we will
wheel.
turn into a handsome prince and we will live happily ever after.
Wouldn't you rather have some Honey Nut Cheerios?
As Rogue from X-Men would say,
You can say no to
two's company, three's the eavesdropper. That dude just popped up out of nowhere just for no reason, right when dude's about to get a damn kiss. And that can happen in real life, and that pisses me off whenever that happens. Out of nowhere. Now back to the show.
So I am Lois Lane, but I'm not Lois Human.
Ever since she died, I've wondered if there were other dimensions out there. Other versions of me and you.
Hold it. I may be a lot like your Lois, but you're nothing like
When God said, "Let there be light," you really think that this is the only planet in the solar system, let alone the only galaxy or the only universe?
And if I did enough good, people would follow my example.
Other universes could have spawned when "Let There Be Light" happened.
You were a casualty of that war, and I knew I had to stop it by whatever means possible.
You did this because of me?
You never knew how I felt about you. I never knew. Until you were gone.
You could have said something. We could have talked about it, figured it out. Now look at you. Married to Luthor.
I needed someone with the organization, the technology.
But Luthor?
He just takes care of the day-to-day duties. He knows that if he ever tried anything, I'd crush him.
I hate to disillusion you, but he just tried something. He tried to kill me.
A holding cell.
There are others. The jail cells are below.
I swear, all I ever wanted from them was peace, order, tranquility. Hey, look.
Careful who you trust.
Why don't you come down here, creep?
Does Superman really have to do that per se? Because he works with Luthor.
At ease.
This universe is just as interesting as the Justice Lord's universe.
Something troubling you? I'm having trouble with your job performance. All I've ever done is give you what you wanted. Not anymore, Luthor. Show's over. Maybe for you.
Nigga always carrying kryptonite.
A gift from your adoring public.
I guess it's better for Luthor for something to happen to him now than him catching cancer later.
They'll never accept you. Oh no. I'll tell them how you forced me to enslave them, how I stood between them and your terrible wrath. And when I tossed them your poisoned green carcass, I'll be more than their leader. I'll be their savior.
Olsen!
I'm glad you're all here. You can bear witness that I've been on your side all along. Save it.
I like how over the course of the Superman show, Lois became more than just the damsel in distress.
Long talk.
Or she was shown more to be more than just a damsel in distress, even though looking back from what we know of Lois, that even at the beginning she was more than just that. But we didn't know that at first. I mean, Lois ends up saving Superman at the end of this series. Luthor always got an escape plan. Luthor should have brought a damn parachute.
Star Labs used to be a place for ideas and hope.
It can be again.
Or will the people ever trust me again?
It'll take time.
I've got the time. For them. And for you. Lois!
Here's another third wheel, our Superman.
I never thought I'd lose you. Twice.
Will it change anything?
For me. But not in Metropolis. Not this time. Lois!
It's a shame that you would think that after this episode, Star Labs would have perfected this machine to go back to see what that universe is up to.
So that was me.
I mean, you would think that by Justice League season 1 that they would have went back to see what Superman was up to, like
Dinner? Are we getting
see if he still fought Darkseid or something.
There is no escape.
Or Star Wars Episode 1 stuff. So that was Brave New Metropolis, Batman Superman episode, Brave New Metropolis, Kids WB. For the episode itself, I loved it. It's just my only complaint that it was too short, considering the awesome stuff that could have been shown leading up to Lois stumbling into this alternate universe. And this was one of the best episodes, and more of the dramatic episodes that they've shown, considering that this is still on a mostly kids-oriented block. Even though Kids WB did have their serious promo type of moments. But a lot of the stuff was like silly and whatnot. But it's one of my favorite episodes to this day of Superman. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. And there, as you can see on my list, there's plenty more stuff to come.